Most people are waiting for the wrong thing. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect morning, the perfect energy. And that wait quietly destroys their life. Because discipline does not begin with a huge breakthrough. It begins with one small habit, repeated when nobody is clapping, nobody is watching, and nobody is rescuing you. That is the real test. Not what you do when you feel strong, what you do when you feel lazy, what you do when the excitement fades, what you do when the day feels heavy and your mind starts negotiating with you. Because if you can win that moment, you can change everything. And that is what this video is really about. Most people think discipline is some rare trait people are born with. They look at high performers and assume those people are different, stronger, more gifted, more disciplined by nature. But that is not the truth. The truth is simpler. Unbreakable discipline is built the same way a muscle is built, one rep at a time, one choice at a time, one small promise kept at a time. And if you have been struggling with procrastination, low energy, or losing focus, I want you to hear this clearly. Your problem is probably not that you need a bigger plan. Your problem is that you need a smaller start. That is where most people miss the point. They try to transform their whole life in one day. They make a giant plan, set massive goals, and then wonder why they collapse 3 days later. That is not failure of character. That is a bad strategy. Big change is usually killed by big pressure. So here is the shift. Stop asking, how do I become disciplined forever? Ask, what is the smallest action I can repeat every single day, even on bad days? That question changes everything. Because discipline is not built in the dramatic moments. It is built in the boring ones, the quiet ones, the moments when you do not feel like doing anything but you still do something. Read 1 page, do 10 push-ups, write for 5 minutes, clean your space, set your clothes out for tomorrow, open the laptop and start the task before your brain can argue. These small actions may look insignificant, but they teach your mind a dangerous lesson. They teach it that feelings are not in charge. They teach it that resistance does not get the final word. And that is how self-control grows. Here is another truth most people avoid. Motivation is unreliable, but momentum is powerful. When you wait to feel motivated, you give your emotions control over your future. But when you act first, even in a small way, your energy starts to shift. The action comes before the feeling, not the other way around. That is why the smallest habit matters so much. It is not about the habit itself. It is about what the habit trains inside you. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust. Every time you break one, you weaken it. That trust is the foundation of confidence, not fake confidence, real confidence, the kind that comes from knowing, I do what I said I would do. And once that identity starts to form, everything changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. That is a powerful shift, because discipline is not just about productivity. It is about identity. It is about becoming the kind of person who can be counted on, especially by yourself. Now let's go deeper. A lot of people fail because they think every day has to feel good to count. But the truth is, your hardest days may be the most important ones. Why? Because those are the days that reveal who is actually in control. If you can keep a small habit alive on a tired day, a stressful day, or a discouraging day, you are not just building consistency. You are building mental toughness. And mental toughness is not loud. It does not always look impressive. Sometimes it just looks like getting started when you want to quit. Sometimes it looks like showing up with low energy and doing the work anyway. Sometimes it looks like protecting your focus for 15 minutes when the whole world is trying to pull it apart. That is discipline, not perfection, not intensity, consistency. And consistency does something powerful. It removes the emotional drama from your growth. You stop asking if you feel like it. You stop treating every task like a battle. You simply become the person who acts. But there is one more piece most people never realize. The small habit is not just about doing more. It is about becoming harder to break. Every repeat action strengthens your inner structure. Every time you stay committed, you become more resilient. Every time you return after a bad day, you prove to yourself that failure is not the end. That is the breakthrough. Discipline is not built by never falling off. It is built by returning quickly. That is the real game, not being perfect, being recoverable, because life will interrupt you. You will have off days. You will lose focus sometimes. You will feel tired, doubtful, distracted, and unmotivated. That is normal. What matters is what you do next. Do you disappear for a week? Or do you return that same day? Do you wait for a new week, a new month, a new mood? Or do you choose the next small action right now? That single decision separates people who drift from people who grow. So start small. Start simple. Start today. Pick one habit that is almost too easy to fail. One action that takes so little energy you cannot talk yourself out of it. Then protect it like it matters, because it does. Because the habit itself is not the prize. The prize is the version of you that is being built through it. And when you repeat that small habit long enough, something powerful happens. You become focused without forcing it. You become productive without begging for motivation. You become confident without needing applause. You become strong in a way that does not disappear when life gets hard. That is unbreakable discipline. Not built in a day, built in the dark, built in small moments, built by choosing action over excuses again and again. So if you are tired of feeling stuck, do not try to fix your whole life tonight. Fix your next move. One small habit, one honest effort, one kept promise. That is how momentum starts. That is how discipline is forged. And that is how you become the kind of person who does not need to be pushed anymore. You push yourself. Now make it real. Start with one small thing and do not break the chain today.